what does social justice mean to you?
Social justice to me means that everyone has an equitable life.
Social justice to me means balance. I believe that an equal balance in things like rights, accessibility, and participation make up social justice.
Social justice to me means equality and fairness across all racial and ethnic and religious boundaries, and that go beyond characteristics that are physical and even people's economic and social status in our country.
Social justice is about fairness and equality in society.
Question 2. How often do you experience social injustice?
I at least hear of or have seen something socially unjust at least once a day.
This is a hard question to think about, but I would say that I experience social injustice probably every day. As a Japanese woman, I would say that I've had my fair share of overt discrimination related to my race and gender. Sometimes it's not as easy to parse out, but it's definitely at the forefront of my mind on a daily basis.
I would say I experience social injustice. I would have to honestly say on a daily basis. But as an African American female who understands systemic issues of racism and sexism in our country, I know that I fall victim to lack of opportunity and access and political power merely by just who I am and my presence.
I'm not sensitive to it the same way. And I'm lucky. Partly because of how I present, how I sound, where I go, what I do, I don't think I experience it that much.
Every day. That's what motivates me to fight against them. Social injustices are pervasive. Their root cognitive biases are inherent in humans, in everyone. I know this not just because I study psychology, but also because of my first-hand experience. I was born with privilege. I was ostensibly a straight white male. Then I came out as transgender. As I transitioned, as I presented more feminine, I garnered less respect, people interrupted me more, and my perspective was devalued. It was horrifying. Having had so much privilege myself, I know how much privilege oppressed groups lack. And that experience, that lack of privilege, that's a daily burden.
Tolerance and acceptance are two different things. Somehow we got into the idea that tolerance was a good thing, right? Like,
Yes.
Forget your tolerance. I'm a human. Like, no. If you're tolerating me, I don't have time for you, right? Because tolerance is another form of intolerance. The mental, physical effect of pushing down all the things that we push down and that we've seen and that we deal with every year, every day, every week, every hour, right? And what it does to our mental health and what it does to our bodies, what it does to our relationships, what it does to how we approach the world, right? And I think, in that way, it's every day, but I have been socialized to deal with that in a way that says it doesn't happen that much because I didn't get pulled out of a car. I didn't get shot. No one followed me in the store today. No one did this, no one did that, no one did that, right? But that doesn't mean it's not there. That just means I'm playing the pain one-upsman, right? Like, well, my pain isn't as bad as that person's pain, so that somehow devalues my own pain. When in reality, you're like, none of this should have happened, right? None of this, right? Like, none of it.
I think a truly socially just world looks like a world where we don't have to ask this question anymore.
But we have a culture that says caring is an annoyance, right? Like, I don't like to deal with the human issues. What does that mean?
What a social just world looks like to me is probably how most Christians define heaven. It's where love is everybody's strongest emotion.
To me, a socially just world isn't a world where we don't see each other's differences, but a world where those differences don't matter. I didn't choose to be a woman. I am a woman. I have no choice but to be a woman, and yet I'm vehemently judged for it, for being my true self. We are all part of one large in-group, humans. In a socially just world, everyone is first and foremost human.
What a socially just world looks like to me, I think, depends on what topic we're talking about. For topics like economic injustice, one image I have is that people would have enough compassion for each other to share and balance out the economic burdens. For topics like race and gender discrimination, a social just world would be one in which I wouldn't have to wonder for not just the negative things, but also for positive things like whether I got the job because of my skills that I actually have, or if it's because some of the preconceived notions around my race or gender. It's having people appreciate each other for who they actually are, not just the biased images they have of them.
The socially just world involves each one of us taking responsibility for our actions, our thoughts, and what we say to other people on a continual basis, and being aware of those things and actively trying to do better. We have to believe that we can all win.
It's up to us because we know that there are people in 2021 who feel oppressed and are controlled and cannot live the lives that they want to live. It is up to us to make sure that we are being just and righteous and fighting for the rights of others who can't fight for themselves or who have been fighting up against a system that is designed to oppress them.
It's hard to imagine what a socially just world looks like because at the stage of life I'm in, I'm very much feeling like my parents felt, I imagine my parents felt, and their parents before them, where, except I know that they also felt this. So it's like, what does a socially just world look like when you already know that people before you thought by now it would look like it, and you know it doesn't?
I think that we have come a long way, and we are getting to a place where these won't be concepts that we're talking about in abstract anymore. We will have a social just world. Will it happen during our lifetime? I'm not sure. But we are very aware, especially in the Social Justice Committee, that we have our work ahead of us and that we have work to do. And being part of the U of M community and being responsible to our coworkers and our colleagues and the students, I think that puts the onus on us to do a little bit more work. But I just hope that one day we don't have to do this work anymore.